And we're live with my review of Black Panther, the movie that came out last week. Maybe last week. I think it's last week. I got to see it a couple of days ago. And so I just want to share my thoughts about it. I'm Angela. The channel is Be Fabulous You. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you so much for clicking on the video and sticking around to see how we get from opening to closing. So I have like a general review, and then I have like, you know, it's one character that's just been kind of, I don't know if they've been working my nerves or working my consciousness, or you know, I protest the characterization of this character, or I just wanted I wanted to see something else. But you may or may not know, for those of you who are regulars on my channel, that my people were in South Africa, and there was a premiere of the film in South Africa. They did not attend the premiere of the movie, but they did see the movie in South Africa. But anyway, this is the newspaper from I don't know what the name of this publication is. I'm trying to see on here. City Press. Maybe it's called City Press. But can y'all see that train on that dress right there? Woo! I live for that train. Okay, so anyway, I just want to bring y'all some the Fashion Police for the Black Panther Revolution hits Joburg. That's Johannesburg. On Friday night, the stars were out for the premiere of the script-flipping, politically charged new Marvel film Black Panther, which draws design inspirations from South Africa and the isiXhosa language. Rode Marshall and Charles Bleeknot spoke to the actors and walked the blue carpet. So they had a blue carpet, not a red carpet. So anyway, yeah. Okay, so I thought so I'm not like I'm not a Marvel person, I'm not a cartoon person, I'm not a comic strip person, I'm not a it's not called a comic strip, but you know, the little books, comic book. I'm not a comic book person, so I don't know anything about the DC world or the whatever world they in, other than I might have seen, like, I think I saw like Iron Man 1, or I might have seen, I never saw the Avengers, I don't think. I've seen a Superman movie here or there. I saw Wonder Woman, but I fell asleep on it, and I was offended a little bit by Wonder Woman, because I'm like, oh, they're supposed to be Amazons, but there's no black people there. I don't understand, what kind of Amazons are they? So I fell asleep because it was like I was traveling and I was, you know, but I think I also fell asleep because I was kind of like, what kind of Amazons are these in this movie? So, you know, I didn't really get into it. But, okay, so I enjoyed the movie. I thought that it was engaging and well crafted. I don't know if I felt drawn into it because there's been so much hype and so much very bad connection, so much hype. John, do I look like some Matrix? About to shut off. Okay, I don't want to talk because I don't know if when it says bad connection if you can hear me, but I don't want to not talk because I don't want you to think if you can hear me. I don't know what's going on. It still says very bad connection. Okay, so it stopped. So I enjoyed the movie. I did not see the very, very, very opening sequence. I guess when we learned the history of Wakanda, I had read or watched a review that had spoilers in it. So I kind of knew more or less what the concept was. And, you know, I live in the world, so I kind of knew more or less what the concept was. When I first heard that Black Panther, oh, they're making Black Panther, and this person's going to be in Black Panther, and this person's going to be in Black Panther, I thought it was a movie about the Black Panthers, like the political organization in California. So when I read the article, it was like, oh, a comic strip thing, a comic strip character or comic book character, Black Panther, never heard of him. So visually, I thought that the film was very it was very interesting. It was very beautiful. It was very, you know, affirming. It felt to me, you know, like black, African, blackity black, black. And that was like a nice feeling. Like, you know, I really felt like, ooh, you know, it felt very soothing and very affirming. I think I already said that. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it. that there were so many, you know, black and brown people who looked so many different ways with different hairstyles and different body types and different colors. And, you know, it was fun. I enjoyed that aspect of it. And I enjoyed the story aspect of it. Now, that's my review. I would encourage you to go see it. I've seen it once. I do want to see it again because I did not get to see it from the beginning. And when I came in late because I was getting curly fries because I didn't think I was going to be able to bring food into the theater. And then this theater had like pizza, but it had like pepperoni pizza and meat pizza. Like, I'm like, why don't they have cheese pizza for people who don't eat meat? But anyway, I was getting some curly fries and they took a long time. So they're supposed to take 3 minutes. So maybe I missed 3 minutes of the movie. And I thought that I was going to get to loop back and see the beginning of it. So for some reason, like, I don't know, I didn't feel like I was paying as close attention as I would have if I had seen it from the beginning and been immersed in the movie from the beginning. It's like when I'm late to a movie, it's almost like I'm like, oh, this don't even count. Somewhere in me, it's like that. So that, you know, so that's kind of like a disclaimer for that. But overall, I've seen the movie once. I am planning to see it again. I don't know if I'm planning to see it like 4 or 5 times, but I would definitely go and see the movie again. And I would recommend the movie to any and everyone. There were some beautiful, attractive people, interesting looking people. The story was interesting enough. You know, yay, it was good. Now, this is the part that I didn't particularly care for. So I don't know if this is, I guess this is a spoil-filled review. So if you have not seen the movie, stop listening. Don't listen to this part. Okay, so the character Killmonger, who was the African American. I wish that Killmonger had grown up as immersed in a conscious black community, like where he had perhaps gone to an African-centered school, where he had perhaps studied martial arts with an African-centered perspective, where he had perhaps been a part of a community of men so that even when his father wasn't in the mix any longer, that he was still being trained and guided and disciplined and loved on by men and women and other folks. You kind of felt like he was just out here. I did not like the idea that he got his training and his orientation from like the CIA or the FBI or the military or whatever he was out there doing. I was kind of like, you know, I did not care for that. I don't want him running Wakanda, having been brought up and dragged up by the United States government, because I just feel like the United States government is not nurturing to black folks. So that stressed me out. And I feel like, who would he have been if, for every scar on him represented, you know, when he was scarifying himself, like, wouldn't it have been, what if he had been like, every scar represents an enemy that I took out, or an enemy of our people that I took out. Like, I just felt like he was out here like a killmonger, like just killing people for the United States government. And I wanted him, if he gonna be out here killing people and be a killmonger, I wanted him to be a killmonger for the people, for the black people, for his people. And so, when you saw the little patch, now we already knew he had all those scars all over him, but when you saw the patch, I like how they did it in the movie. They saw the patch and explained how, every scar represents a kill that he's done. And then when you see his whole body, it's like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of killing. But what if it had been like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of liberating that he's been doing? And I thought that it made like an interesting, it could have made an interesting parallel with Mama Lupita's character, with Lupita Nyong'o's character, because she seemed like she was out here trying to save black folks one person at a time. And he would seem like he could have been out here trying to save black folks one person at a time. And I would have liked to have seen them kind of come together with the main character, Black Panther, in the middle. You know what I mean? And the tension of their desire to save black people one person at a time, and him, the Black Panther, having the resources to do that, but not doing it, and them pushing him into being a liberator. Let's be about the liberation of our people. So yeah, I didn't that part of Killmonger, I just wanted him to be a whole different character. I felt like he was very wild and not disciplined in a certain way. Now, of course, he was very disciplined because, he had studied his father's book, and had learned about his father's culture as much as he can. But what if he had been brought up, as I said, and had in an African-centered community and had learned about, maybe not specifically about Wakandan culture, but was very grounded in like variations in African culture and the African orientation versus a European orientation. And, you know, like, because when he came in and he was like yoking the people up and I'm the king and you, like, I didn't like that. I didn't like that as a representation of African Americans. And I feel like there are definitely some wild African Americans out here. There's some wild Africans out here. There's some wild Europeans and Asians. There's some wild people out here. But I would have loved to have seen his character as more grounded in like an African orientation and like in a positive way, having been loved by a black community and raised up by a black community and in a black community and trained up in a black community. So that's basically my how I would want to see them. I want to see the whole movie, but I want his character to be different. I want his character to be a different kind of black person. I guess like the black people that, you know, I can imagine, you know. So I guess everybody wants to see, you know, their reality reflected on the screen. And then the other thing that okay, so for me, I don't know how the comic books go, but to me, I was not convinced that Killmonger was dead. And I don't want Killmonger to be dead. He might have been like one of my favorite characters. I think he was my favorite character. So when he was like, you know, throw me in the ocean, don't bring me back to life, let me be with my ancestors who were like, you know, forget being in bondage, we'd rather be free and in the bottom of the ocean. I hope that they brought his behind back to life, you know, because I like him. He's my friend. He's my African-American friend. But anyway, I wasn't convinced that he was like dead. Was he supposed to be dead? And then the other thing that was like stressing me out a little bit about the film was the, now we know they have the vibranium, vibrations. We know they have the vibranium, you know, in the society, but the heart-shaped flower, the heart-shaped herb. So when Killmonger was like, oh, burn all of that, and then Lupita's character got a little bit and she had it in her hand, and then when they found the Black Panther, the original T'Challa, when they found T'Challa, that the Indabo's people had found T'Challa, and they had him, and you know, they were keeping him alive by keeping him on ice basically, and then they gave him the herb, the heart-shaped herb that she had savaged. That was the only thing that was savaged, right? Because I'm like, it was a really good movie though. I've seen it twice already. I've only seen it once, but the herb, so I was like stressed by that. I'm like, so he burnt up all of the herb except for what she had in her hand, and then she gave it to him. And so they gave it to the Black Panther to help, you know, and then they buried him in the snow and everything. And so I'm like, well, what about the rest of the heart-shaped herb? Like, is there more? Are we going to find some growing someplace else? I was really stressed. I wanted them to like plant some so that it could, I was just, that really stressed me out. So that, and then I feel like there was one other thing, dang, and I wish I could remember it. So what did you like most about the movie? Was there anything that you would change about it? Is that Rowdy Chica? 59. Dang, I feel like there was one other thing in that movie that I wanted to say. But I guess it's not important if I can't think of it. Maybe if I think of it, I'll put it in the comments. But that's it. I enjoyed the movie. I think this whole conversation about, now, you know, a lot of these films, these big budget films are made for an international market. So I think that this film Disney has made and this next movie that's coming out, and maybe this next movie that's coming out, A Wrinkle in Time, is a Disney film. And I was wondering if this film with the Hidden Figures was a Disney film as well, because perhaps Disney is trying to figure out, because there's like Nollywood, the Nigerian film, like there is a huge market for black films. I mean, for, you know, black people consume like Nollywood, even India, they're brown people, but they Bollywood, Hollywood, Bollywood, and Nollywood, those three are like right up there at the top in terms of film consuming cultures, and producing cultures. And, you know, people all over the African world consume that Nigerian product that's produced. So maybe Disney is trying to test the waters to see, you know, how much labor they can get out of us black people promoting their films and buying buying out theaters and all of this other stuff we were doing. And so I'm curious to see if Hidden Figures was a Disney film, because we know A Wrinkle in Time is a Disney film. There's this false conversation being set up, or maybe it's not, but where it's like, well, is A Wrinkle in Time going to dethrone the Black Panther? It's a fight. It's a fight. And it's like, it's not really a fight, because both of them are Disney films. Disney wins either way, you know, and people are already buying out theaters and buying tickets for that film. Although people started buying out tickets for the Black Panther a long time ago. I don't know if they feel the same way about A Wrinkle in Time. I haven't read the book. I don't really even know what the concept is. And I'm not, except for that it's Ava DuVernay and Oprah, I'm not necessarily looking forward to it. Now, I did see that, you know, I like a movie as much as anything else. But, and I only paid $7 to go see Black Panther. So that was cheap. I was surprised it was so cheap. But you know, I feel like, do I feel like spending $7 to go see a movie? I don't know. I don't know. And I don't know if I'm going to see A Wrinkle in Time. I might see it. Yappo Yappa is like, or, you know, some people are talking about like the whole interracial thing. So I researched it because I'm like, huh? What? And I guess that the main character is like, you know, a biracial child. Her mama is black and her father is white, I guess. I think that's what I could figure out. You know, I don't know how strongly I feel about that. You know, I don't know. I'm still processing it. But I like Black Panther. I recommend it, as I said before. And I think that, you know, they should, you know, y'all all share this video and like it and comment. And let's make it go viral so that Marvel can get this African-American character right. That's all I got. Thank you so much for joining in live and saying hello, and for the likes, for the comments when you're watching on playback and all of that other good stuff. I'm Angela again. The channel is Be Fabulous You. So what was your favorite thing about the Black Panther, and what would you change, if anything? And I'm not true. I don't care nothing about the cartoon or the comic book. I ain't got to be true to no comic book. And you don't either. We can just kick it in the comments however we want to. Today is the best day ever, and you are the greatest. You're the #1 stunner. So be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Be you.